Welcome back, everybody, to the Derby City Fandom podcast. My name is Kenny, joined with Jake and Colin once again. Today, we're talking about something near and dear to our hearts as the Derby City Fandom. We gotta pay some homage to our name. It is Derby season.
I love this week. I love it, Colin.
Craziest, week and a half, 2 week span that this city ever sees.
Yeah, because I don't know, we're from Louisville, so this is dear to Mark. I got my bourbon.
Got our bourbons. We got...
What are we drinking, Kenny? Long Branch?
Long Branch, Wild Turkey Long Branch.
Wild
I
Turkey.
believe this is
There
the
you
one that Matthew McConaughey was working on. No, that was Legend. Never mind. I digress.
It's pretty good.
I guess I'm the peasant. I'm over here drinking Rolling Rock.
It's all good. You got places to be after this, so you get the pass.
But yeah, the most entertaining 2 minutes in sports history. Horses running around a track at Louisville, Kentucky's Churchill Downs.
Twin Spires. Oh, man. There is so much to talk about just in regards to what goes on. I think for this particular episode, we'll just talk about our own personal experiences with the Derby. I know you all have a different kind of outlook to it than I have. I've worked in the hospitality industry here in town, working at a hotel bar that was one of the official, so to speak, hotels for the Derby. So we had a whole handful of celebrities show up. And I always had to deal with, I guess, just the business side of Derby and all the fun stories that come with people coming in from out of town to watch the ponies run.
So before we dive into all that, let's give a brief synopsis of what the 2 weeks leading up to Derby are really all about. So it starts out with a fireworks display and an air show.
Correct.
Known as Thunder over Louisville. So there's an air show and everything with, F-15s, C-130s, etc. That basically give all the citizens of Louisville basically something to look up into the sky and be like, wow, that's what our military is like. That's what our civilian aircrafts look like, etc.
F-35. We had F-16s and F-35s this year.
I believe so.
Sweet. Freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we have that ends up leading to a fireworks display that is about, say, 30 minutes.
30 minutes long. I think they advertised it as the biggest firework display
In North America?
in North America.
Or is it the world? I don't think it's the world. I think it's North America.
I'll say North America, and then we can expand outwards.
Anyway,
If we
so
have
it's a pretty cool experience overall, Thunder of Louisville. If you've never been to it before, I definitely suggest that you come down for a visit some year in the near future and just see what
What it's all about.
what the Louisville life is about during these 2 weeks leading up to the first Saturday in May.
Like the closest thing that I can compare it to, I think, is Mardi Gras down in New Orleans. It's kind of like our version of it, except more kind of sports related, I suppose. I digress. So you have the air show, you have the fireworks, and then you have all kinds of fun events. You got do they still do the
boat race?
The boat race.
Yes.
I don't know, do they?
Yes. Okay, cool.
It's between the
Great steamboat
Belle of
races.
Louisville. There's steamboats, Belle of Louisville, and what's the other one?
It changes
It used to be
depending on the
Cincinnati's.
year. It used to be Cincinnati, and then it's just the ones from Louisiana. It's really whoever wants to come and race.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
There's not too many steamboats operational anymore, so they kind of have slim pickings.
Yes, and then there is the Pegasus Parade. They have the bed race, I believe, still.
Bed race,
One of my favorites, the balloon glow. I love the
balloon glow.
The hot air balloons.
Hot air balloons.
The hot air balloon race, which is cool.
That was canceled this year, wasn't it?
No, they were. I'm pretty sure they were racing.
I thought they canceled it due to weather.
Nope.
I definitely remember driving home from work that morning, and seeing the balloons up in the air. Now, I
Yeah,
didn't see a whole lot of balloons up in the air, but I saw some.
They were racing.
Were they? Okay, cool.
And then they dump a bunch of rubber duckies
Yes,
into the Ohio River.
The Kentucky.
The Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby. Yep. And so that is all leading up to the last week in.
And the horses show up.
Yeah, the last week you got Derby, you got
Oaks, and then the big day itself.
So it used to be that Oaks was like the big local day.
Yeah.
So if you guys remember, I assume you guys went to Oaks growing up.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah, a lot of people did. So that used to be our day, but now it's so crowded and let's be real expensive to go on Oaks Day that we for years we started going to Thursday, and all the locals called it Derby.
Yep.
And
of
now
course,
that's
Church of
getting
Downs-
packed.
Yeah, and then Church Downs builds on that. So now that's getting packed.
And so now we're on Wednesdays.
So now it's on Wednesdays. Yeah, actually, a lot of people go on Tuesdays. They're calling it, I can't remember what they call it, 502 Tuesday. 502 being our
Area code.
area code.
Yeah, the area code for like the entire state.
So it's a huge deal.
I'm going Wednesday.
In Louisville.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit of the history behind Churchill Downs, Kenny. When did Churchill Downs first appear? When was its first race?
Well,
it's like 18 something.
Yeah, so I know that the inaugural Kentucky Derby itself was back in 1875. So I think that puts us at 400 or not 400, 147. I believe, for the Derby
400.
number.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got 400.
I don't
The
either.
bourbon's kicking in.
Okay. But yeah, so that would make this year going over close to 150 years that this race has been going on. What does that make Oaks? Because Oaks didn't happen until later, I feel like.
I can look that up here momentarily.
By the way, Oaks is the main race on the Friday, so the day before the Kentucky Derby. It's ran by the fillies,
Yes.
the female horses.
And what does the winner of the Oaks get?
I don't know, a bunch of money.
They get the lilies.
They get the lilies.
They get
That's
the
what I was
lilies.
getting at, Jake.
Yes, you got the run for the roses and the run for the lilies, right?
3-year-old fillies. Mm-hmm. Purse is what? $1.25 million.
Okay, it looks like it started around the same time. I thought so, but I wanted to double check.
Oh, okay. Then I'm wrong. It's fine.
1875.
So let's go over the past Kentucky Derby winners real quick to give a brief little history lesson for our listeners.
Yeah. So if you have a horse that's able to qualify for the Derby and you win, the horse is basically guaranteed to always make money for the rest of its functional life. I would say that the most famous one still is Secretariat. Probably the most well-known.
So I would agree with that. And, there's only how many horses that have won the Triple Crown?
I can look that up. It's very, very few. It's like less than
So the
40.
Triple Crown, for everybody that's listening, the Triple Crown, the first race is the Kentucky Derby, and there are 2 other races that follow that at other horse tracks. One of them being
13 horses.
where are the other 2 tracks, Jake?
Belmont and
Preakness.
Belmont and Preakness, yes. And so if you win all 3 races, that gives you the Triple Crown, and basically you are set for life.
Yes. The stud horse is just going to make you all kinds of money.
Bow chicka bow.
Mm-hmm.
So who are our horses running in this year's Derby?
I haven't looked yet.
I have it right here. That's why I brought it up. So we have, just to name a few.
Gray horse. I always go with the gray horse.
Don't go with the gray horse. The gray horses look good, folks, but they almost never win, and that is the meme.
Never listen to Kenny.
So we have
Actually, you're better
Forte as one of our horses. He is a 3-to-1 odds.
Okay.
And we have Tappet Trice, Angel of Empire, Derma Sadagaki. I can't pronounce that. Practical Move, King's Barn, Mage. One thing that I've heard a lot about is Jace's Road, which is 50-1 odds. So imagine if somebody had that odds and ended up winning. You get some buku cheddar.
Like last year, didn't?
Oh yeah, the horse that was the right end, the extra.
Yeah.
Wasn't even supposed to race.
He
Had
won.
to race at the last minute. Decided to
I don't
win.
remember what that superfecta paid. But
Millions.
it was nice.
It was a good chunk. It was something like 80-1 odds.
Yeah.
I do believe that is the highest odds that I've ever won the Derby.
I've only picked the winner once. Funny side. I picked Funny side. when I was a
yeah.
kid. He used to be he was at Churchill Downs for a while. He might still be there.
Okay, so I'm looking at past years Kentucky Derby winners. So let's go back to 2015. We have American Pharaoh.
Yep. First one to break the curse in a good while.
Yeah, Triple Crown on there. What's
Yep,
most recent?
that was
Justify?
that was Bob Baffert.
Boo.
Yeah, we don't like him.
Not
around
anymore.
Bob Baffert doesn't like Bob Baffert.
Bob
and he
Baffert's
got.
an idiot.
Did he end up actually getting?
I'm pretty sure he's still banned for life for what he did.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was 2015, and we had Nyquist on 2016, Always Dreaming 2017, Justified 2018. That was again Bob Baffert.
Boo.
Courtesy House
He who shall not be named.
2019, Authentic 2020, Bob Baffert once again. 2021 was Mandaloon, and last year was Rich Strike with Eric
Rich
Reed.
Strike.
Yeah.
being the winner. I don't.
The name was fitting.
You know, I actually don't think I actually watched the race last year.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel.
I don't remember what I was doing, but I
working?
definitely I'm probably working. It wouldn't surprise me.
That's usually how it is here in town, folks. You either love the Derby or you do your best to get out of the city ahead of time to not deal with the tourists.
Scroll down, Kenny. What's the other names here?
So I think Colin left off at.
I went to 2015.
Oh, well, you went to 2015, but I think Jake was taking a look at the current odds and the horses for this particular Derby coming up.
Oh, which ones you want to talk about?
King's Barn, Two Fills, Mage, Verifying, Confidence Game, Skinner, Disarm, Hit Show, Lord Miles, Rocket Can. Not going to pronounce that one.
Continuar, Jace's Road.
Jace's Road, Raise Cane.
I bet that person likes chicken.
A little
That's
shout
fun.
out to
That's
Matt
fun.
Tucker.
Sun Thunder.
When are we going to go get Raising Canes, buddy?
Reincarnate.
Yeah, and so
A lot of people pick their favorite names. A lot of people do that. A lot of people pick the starting gate. I think you can look up which starting position has the most winners, which one has never had a winner. So that's another thing people do.
I mean, if you've ever gotten the programs they give out, if you actually know how to interpret that stuff, you will make money at the Derby.
Handicapping? Yeah, I don't.
Some of that's handicapping, some of that's knowing who the trainers are,
I look at it. I've
positions
always
at the
looked
post.
with who the trainer is, and if Bob Baffert's the trainer, I typically go with him. But
He's a cheating asshole.
Oh man, that used to be an easy bet.
But yeah, that's kind of where I stand with that.
But yeah, I think the highest odds this time around is just
It's
50-1.
50-1,
And
yeah.
there's 4 of them with that. 5 of them with that, it looks like. With Forte being the group favorite at 3-1, which is kind of odd. These odds are not set in stone. Those will change the day of.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely will. They typically change probably just minutes before the race.
Yeah, it'd be
starts.
like 5 over 3 or something.
Something stupid
Whatever
like
they
that.
do with
you know,
that.
it is what it is. So my question to you all is, what is your all's fondest memory growing up, or even like a year ago, Kentucky Derby related, or the 2 weeks leading up to the Derby?
There's so much, man. I don't know. That's a loaded question. I've been in the Derby a handful of times. I never actually had a seat. I've always had just a general mission, so spent a lot of time.
Oh, you're a peasant, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody knows that the infield is where it's at. Don't even kid yourself.
A lot of times I wasn't in the infield. I would just be hanging out in the paddock.
Oh.
The paddock area. A lot of good times, man. A lot of fun there. Had a lot of fun. You can't even do that anymore now, though.
No, you can't. So the drink of choice for the Oaks is the Lily.
Lilies are good. If you're going to Oaks, definitely at least
Definitely get a Lily. I
Lilies are
agree.
good.
They pretty
I've
much
made
go down
far
like
too many
water
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But they are delicious but pricey. Very
yes.
pricey. And
You know how to make them?
I do know how to make it. Actually, the first drink I learned at a very young age to
Is
make.
that vodka? Or
It is.
It
it
is.
vodka?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is vodka, cranberry, sweet and sour. And from there, you generally try to garnish it with like a raspberry.
Tell Kenny used to be a bartender back in the day.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's the drink of choice for Oaks. And then we have the mint julep for the day of the Derby, which is also a fantastic drink.
Yeah, it's act.
Both of them are very expensive.
I'm not a fan
typically.
of juleps.
Yeah, I don't.
I actually like mint juleps. But anyway, the first drink I learned when I was really young, a relative of mine taught me. I couldn't have been maybe like 10.
Just
12
casually
at most.
doxing your.
I was taught how to make a mint julep. I'm
They're
not going
not
to say this
hard.
relative's name because actually it just came to my head. But I was taught at a very young age, before I was 21, how to make a mint julep.
As we do here in town.
I do not condone underage drinking.
We do not. Takes a drink of bourbon real
But
quick.
that was since we're talking about fond memories, I think that might be one of them.
Okay.
We had some good times, Colin, in the infield. We went a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of people, trying to run across the top of porta potties.
Yeah.
I want to.
Once again, that's all changed too. I don't even know if they.
Do they not let people in the infield anymore?
Yeah, they do.
I think they do.
It's
but
like they'd
they
have to,
can't-
otherwise the capacity would be like they couldn't do it just fire marshal
Yeah,
wise.
you can no longer cross back and forth. I know that.
Really? So you can't like willy nilly just go back and forth in between the runs, in between the
So
races.
pretty much once you're in, you're in.
Once you're in, like once you buy an infield ticket, you're stuck in the infield. You can't go to the paddock or the rest of the track
Then
anymore.
what is
that
the
is
point?
lame.
What is the freaking
Well,
point?
It's changed, man. Times are changing.
I would
They
rather
want you
stay.
to
In,
have,
I'd rather stay in the paddock, man. That's where the horses are, and that's where
That's where you see all the
attractive
people
women are. Their beautiful
and their fancy
hats.
hats.
I know, beautiful women with their hats.
Yep.
No, I mean, I guess if you're coming in from out of town, definitely go. I never had a seat, so I'd probably recommend spending the money to get a seat, even if it's not covered. It doesn't matter.
I disagree.
Yeah. So
Do
there's
you?
one thing that the Derby is known for, at least here in the last decade or so, is that it always rains. It just always rains. There have been very few where it has not rained like on that particular weekend. It never fails. Just
It's actually snowed.
it has snowed before.
And when it does rain, all the drunks in the infield will start throwing mud at the
At the horses.
And
at the people on the seats.
at the people, and they go mudsliding, and they.
Oh yeah, slip and slide. That's
I've
part of
never
the
done
fun.
that, but-
That's an experience
Yeah.
in itself.
It's like I have been told by people that have bartended out in the infield that they have almost doubled like the amount of money that the people on the inside make.
I believe that. Dude, the people that go into the infield are there for a good time. I've seen, Jake, do you remember seeing like some cats do mudsliding in like actual suits?
Yes. Like people that have no care in the world and more money than they know what to do with. Just
Hang on.
like
Ruining
drunk,
suits.
I don't remember that. But
like tuxes.
I mean, if it's a rental, why not?
Fuck
Dude,
it.
Like,
I guess I would tell people, I don't know, the listeners, like if you're younger, in your young 20s,
Go and have a good
hell,
time.
even in your teenage
Be
years,
responsible.
I don't know.
Go have a
go
good
to the
time.
infield. Go part of the infield.
If you're going to go to the infield, have a
Right.
good time.
If you're north of
Do not drive home
24,
yourself.
25, get a couple seats, get a derby hat, drink some bourbon, bet some horses. It's fun.
Yeah.
Me
Who knows?
personally,
you might casually become a millionaire.
I would probably never buy a seat.
I would love
It
to do it
ruins the
once.
experience, in my opinion.
See, all right,
Like,
here's the other flip side for us, since we're locals. Like, it's so much fun as a local because there's always Derby house parties.
That's true.
Sure.
Like, there's so much fun. They're always a blast, just going over friends and family's houses and doing like the jackpots, like pull a name out of a hat and all
Yeah,
that.
throw in a few bucks, pull a name out of a hat, and this is the horse that you're betting on, and then you're cheering at the TV to.
Yeah.
So there's
So
definitely
some
locals
horse to
go.
win. And
That
then-
way, at least somebody in the room is guaranteed to win something.
So that's the other thing is if you're from out of town and you know someone in Louisville,
Go to a party.
go to a house party. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So is that the first official Derby City Fandom stance that if you're
Leave
gonna
us a
come?
comment. Maybe you'll get invited to ours. I don't know.
Oh, we're having one.
Sure, why not?
All right.
All right. I guess we're having a party then.
All right, well,
this episode is going up like the day of, so no one's showing up.
Hey, you don't know.
For next year. Leave us a comment for next year. Maybe you'll get invited.
Fair enough.
And what I want to know is to our listeners, I want to hear everybody else's greatest moments leading up to Derby or day of Derby. Like, what are your all's memories?
So
I got a lot, man.
I got a lot, and there's one that I need to mention from my bartending days at the hotel. This was 3 years ago. As of this recording, 3 years ago. I was paid $20 by a person from out of town to go through the hotel and find them a metal spoon. And it was because his wife really needed a metal spoon for that particular instance. And I just dropped everything I was doing at the bar and went to find the guy a spoon. The other follow-up to that is like the next day, like Derby Day in particular, a separate individual paid me $40 to find a refrigerator big enough to hold this large bottle of Mum's champagne. And this is like a 3-liter bottle that stands at something like 2.5 feet tall. This massive thing. And to find him a fridge for it.
You better find a.
I put it in in like the kitchen's like walk-in cooler.
Yeah, smart.
And then it's just like, okay, like, this is, I told the guy, it's like, okay, this is where it is. I have to be here tomorrow. So, when you come back for it, I'll be here. Just find me. Or if you can't find me, ask for one of the people and they all have my number and they can contact me and I can make sure it gets back in your hands. That guy never shows back up. He just leaves. So I got paid $40 to put a large bottle of champagne in a walk-in cooler that the guy never came back for.
What'd you do with the bottle?
Well, after I told my boss about it, I think they raffled it off for like a company event, and one of the employees won it. Like one of the housekeepers.
At least it didn't go to waste.
It didn't go to waste. No, that sucker was drunk. But that was like one of my more crazy memories from my hotel days, hospitality-wise. Naturally, with the Derby, we get a whole lot of people, celebrity-wise, coming in. Now, I think one of my more entertaining run-ins...
I saw Ashton Kutcher once in the Highlands. I think he was going to, what's the big party? Where all the rich
Barnstable?
people go? Yeah.
Yeah, the Barnstable Ball.
Saw Ashton Kutcher once.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
My fun run-in at the hotel was I ran into Tracy Morgan
That's awesome.
prior to his accident.
Who's that?
He is a comedian, SNL, I believe, right, Colin?
Oh, yeah. No.
He was involved in like a big truck accident up in Canada, I believe, like a year afterwards. But I ran into him at the hotel. I've run into like the musical group. What are they called? Pentatonics. Ran into them one year. Ran into Louis Vuitton quite a few times. He comes often.
Don't know who that is.
Louis Vuitton, Colin, is that NSYNC or is that Backstreet Boys? It's one of the two. He's one of the boy band guys.
Um,
The only one I know is Justin Timberlake.
Fair enough. I mean, he's the only one that had a career after that. I digress. But there's always just some random person that has some sort of either money to just blow on the weekend or just a celebrity that you can be like, oh, hey. And you point at them, and because of company policy, you can't take a photo of. So I have no photos of any of these people, which is upsetting. But my bartending days at the particular hotel, I think the most fun that I've had was teaching people about bourbon from out of town and giving them like the higher end bourbon stuff and educating them on like the process. So I would have people come in and buy like, high end, very expensive Pappy Van Winkle. Like,
Don't do it, people. It's not worth it.
It's not. And I told them after the fact, of course, be like, hey, if you like this, you'll probably like this cheaper stuff. But I'll have like, these guys in suit come up and buy like 5 shots of Pappy Van Winkle that go for like $125 a shot.
Definitely drink bourbon. Bourbon's worth it. So don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say.
Bourbon is worth it, but
top shelf
Jesus.
stuff, it's not necessarily any different than what you're going to get in the middle shelf. So
Yeah, that's my one recommendation there.
other life advice regarding bourbon. Sorry to cut you off, Colin, but drink it however the hell you want. Don't let anyone tell you differently. So if you want to put a couple ice cubes in it, splash of water, splash of
We honestly
or
don't-
Sprite. There's
We
no
don't
wrong
care
way.
here in town so long as you drink the stuff. Don't
That's
waste
one of
it.
the things the locals will piece together. If someone from out of town is trying to tell like someone from Kentucky how to drink their bourbon, they're not from Kentucky. So from a
Yes.
life lesson from a Kentuckian, drink it however you want to drink it.
'Cause I've had a whole spiel on how the traditional way to, sample bourbon is, which is like this entire process is so needlessly extra.
I've had people like tell me, it's like, oh man, I can't believe you put an ice cube in that. I'm like, dude, mind your own business.
Yeah,
Drink it how you want to drink it.
It's like, I don't know, maybe I just like my liquids cold.
Yeah, or a splash of water or L8. A lot of people put L8. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's actually called the late one.
The late one. Is there a name for it?
A late one.
Well, that's what it has in air quotes. It's spelled out ale 8.
But
One.
I didn't know that.
it's a late one.
Yeah.
So I was just looking up celebrities that were expected to see at this year's Derby.
Okay.
One of them being Seal.
Seal's coming back. Okay, he's been to a handful of these.
Tyler Childers, Jack Harlow.
Of course. Jack Harlow was like the big, being the Louisville native, he's the big poster boy now. I think he's actually done a music video at Churchill Downs.
Did you see someone graffiti that garage?
Oh, yeah. From the,
Sad stuff, man.
the fun thing with that is that I know that exact alleyway that he took that photo in.
We all do. No spoilers, Kenny.
Yeah,
I don't need to. I have wandered down that alleyway, and I'm pretty sure that behind one of those trash cans, like 10 years ago, that I might have vomited behind.
wow.
Well, if you live in that house and you're listening to this podcast, Kenny sincerely apologizes.
You can't prove shit.
Anyway, so moving on, we got Chris Pine, Ethan Hawke, Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Just a handful. Over the years we've had the Queen of England here,
Yeah, she has her own particular seat dedicated to her.
but she's dead now, so
Very dead.
down with the British.
I remember when she came and
They made a big deal about
They were
it.
telling people like, yeah, if you see her, you're like, if you're at the track, what call her Your Majesty. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no.
No,
Not doing
I'm
that.
Irish.
Like,
I am Irish.
Yeah, like I'll be polite, but
Like, we'll be civil
not to
about
knock,
it. But,
yeah, like not to knock on the
know.
dead, but like even if it was Charles or whatever, like yeah, isn't that my royalty? Like get out of here.
Yeah. Who else shows up? Justin Timberlake comes. I know that Shaquille O'Neal shows up a lot.
yeah.
Because you often, because he has ties to ESPN, so you have him come in.
He has
and-
ties to Sazerac as well.
He does.
He does.
Yeah. So the Pappy Bourbon that's partially owned by Shaquille O'Neal.
Sure
Fun
is.
fact.
Yes.
I think I don't know. At least it was years ago.
He is a very well business diversified individual.
Yep. I think he has ties with Papa John's. Too.
I'm not sure if he does
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, I think he does.
No, he still
Is he
does.
selling
Does he?
commercials? and
Okay.
all that?
Yeah, he still does.
Sidebar.
Anyways,
Pizza still sucks. By the way, don't order Papa John's.
Oh, it's not
hot
bad.
take.
It
Okay.
sucks. I'm sorry. It's gone
Oh,
down.
if you are going to town for the Derby, Zal's Pizza. Best pizza in town, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys have a different one, but I love Zal's.
I like Wix as
Wix
my
is good.
like artist. I'm going to call it like an artisan.
Colin,
pizza.
you got a
Do I have a preference? I do enjoy Wix. I occasionally will enjoy Boomboz as well.
Boom Balls is pretty good.
Pretty good.
All good picks. All local. So there you go.
Yes.
We support local around here. And
sir.
I'm really curious to our listeners what their favorite pizza joint in town is also.
Sure thing. Yeah.
And also their favorite bourbon. Hit us up with your favorite bourbon too.
Yes,
that's a
we
good
we
question.
we want to do a bourbon tasting episode in the future. So if that's something you'd like to hear us talk about, our opinions on it, I know that
Let us
I'm
know.
down.
let us
Yeah,
know.
I
It's
like
like I know that I like to think of myself as a professional enabler, as I used to bartend. So at a bourbon bar in particular, so I know my way around the bourbons.
So a connoisseur slash.
Yeah, we don't have a name. Like you got like cicerones and you got sommeliers, but there's not really one for bourbon yet. They haven't
Good.
decided.
Keep it that way.
I think that's correct. I do agree with you, Jake. But yeah, no, let us know if that's something you all are interested in. Down in the comments.
All right. I think that's enough for this special edition of Kentucky Derby 2023. Any closing thoughts for you all?
Happy Derby, everybody.
Yeah, happy Derby, everybody. If you are going to the Derby, stay hydrated. That's my best advice.
Stay hydrated. Bring
'Cause
a
you-
umbrella or a
if
poncho.
if you are of age,
If you are a lady, bring some flip flops.
yes, because the worst thing,
Or some flats, I don't
worst thing
know.
in the world
Walking on high
is
heels all the time sounds horrible to me.
high heels on the paddock is not a good time.
You know, I know that we've kind of seen some pictures from our friend with the new construction that's going on at Churchill Downs. But
Yes, and his work over there.
I'm really excited to see what they've done lately.
Yeah, no, that should be fun. Shout out to.
No.
No.
names.
You won't dox him?
No names.
Okay,
No
we're not
names.
doxing him.
No
I
names
was going to
over
shout
there.
out the company. His
names.
No names.
his Derby themed company, but okay, no names.
Probably know some information we shouldn't know.
That's fair. That's fair. I
And
don't.
honestly, he's just an asshole. So
I feel like he's
I really
one-
hope he listens to this episode.
We'll have to share the link then.
No,
All
but
right.
seriously, happy Derby, everybody.
Happy Derby, everybody.
Drink the bourbon how you want to drink it. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
Yes, bet on the horses. You're going to have a good time, even if it's just the minimum bet. You're probably not going to go wrong betting the favorite, but where's the fun in that?
All right. See you guys next time.
Have a good one. Bye.